Every good boy does fine. That is something my music teacher told me. Don't know what it means. Didn't pay attention in class. But I will do my teacher one better. Every food boy does fine. So fine, in fact, that they made a whole movie about this boy that makes food. Box office hit The Adventures of Food Boy. Starring Lucas Grabeel, the man that you may remember from, High School Musical 1, 2, and 3. He played in this movie. And boy, oh boy, does it leave you wondering, what were they thinking? The movie starts off with one of the most 2000 songs I've heard in, I think, ever. And our boy Ezra here is late for class. Now, I don't know if he lives nearby the school. That would be the only reason he could be that late and still show up to his first class of the day. We're introduced to the school bully, and his name is Garrett. He probably has 3 people he talks to, and he's also the president of the school, but he's also a bully. They did a lot to try and make the plot work. We were taken to the cafeteria. He says that he has to get back at his bully by running for class president, which, sure, that's a great plot. But apparently him saying that is the funniest thing he could have ever proposed, including his family. His family laughs in his face. At this point, we get taken to the dining room table where the dad and the grandma of Ezra, where it is revealed that the grandma might have mental issues.
Well, I steamed them, seasoned them, and then I froze them.
Despite his grandmother trying her best to make dinner for them, he absolutely dunks on her.
I just can't wait to get an autographed copy of the cookbook.
She's your grandma, dude. You can't shit on your grandma. It becomes clear that the main character is kind of a dick to everybody. Throughout the movie, he just uses his friends, just manipulates them emotionally and just overall.
Justine is running, and we go back a long ways, and
No worries.
He goes on after this scene
Around
to
the
slander
sun,
his
in your
grandma further.
I was thinking last night about my grandma and her long, boring, pathetic life.
Main character is just a terrible human being, but they do give him a dead mom.
Your mom would support this.
Feel bad for him now. He has to deal with and cope with his dead mom. So this is when stuff starts getting serious, all right? His powers awaken. And you want to know how they reveal it? He sniffs his hands. That's his Spider-Man sticking to walls and having feverish episodes. That's his version of it, is his hand smell. And it's not a secret where he tries to hide from people while this is happening. He does it publicly in front of his friends and just people. His manipulation tactic worked. Justine drops out of the race. The thanks he gives to the chick doesn't happen.
Is she running for secretary now?
someone convinced her to run for class secretary instead.
Wonder who did that.
And so the speeches start, and Garrett actually gives a decent speech. So Ezra sniffs his hands and then stumbles through what he calls a speech. Something I would have produced for my third grade English class. And during this, his powers activate, causing him to throw pastrami at Garrett. Most people's responses would be like, why would he do... Oh my gosh. He just threw something at his opponent. Pastrami throwing apparently is the funniest thing happen on stage since comedy's inception. Ezra runs to the bathroom to escape. He gets to the bathroom. Every ingredient of sandwich that you would find in a sandwich, it becomes the bathroom. The bathroom is now a sandwich. During this scene, the entirety of the budget of this movie is shown in a solid 5-second clip. See that? You might have missed it. That VFX shot probably cost like $5,000. He ends up getting suspended for 2 days, which is reasonable. He did sandwich the bathroom. But when he gets home, his grandma's a little bit cryptic.
Does this involve food exploding out of your hands?
Turns out it gets passed down. It's a genetic thing. They go into a montage of making food. It's supposed to be kind of funny, like the grandma makes thing and then Ezra makes like a processed version of it. You put a potato down, a thing you grow out of the ground, and Ezra made the industrialized version of a potato chip, and he made that with his hand. That's more impressive. Then the grandma goes on to say some absurd things. She says the 59 food groups.
59 food groups.
One of those being chocolate.
Chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate is a food group in real food science, in the foodology. Also, we find out that they all smell their hands too. It's a universal thing. They all smell their hand. But on top of all of the absurdity, the grandma owns a book.
The food book.
Dating back to caveman times. 4000 BC, that's 6,000 years ago. I don't wanna disrupt the food boy lore here. I don't wanna be that guy. That would mean that book is the oldest piece of written history in the world. The only other one being the f***ing Bible. And the reason why this isn't national news, the reason why they explain it beautifully. It's totally logical. If they tell people about the food gift, their food tastes bad. Like, who cares? Dude goes on national television, is literally like, hey, people can make food from their wrists. And they're like, huh, what are you talking about? Boom, Apple. You know what would happen? Pandemonium. He'd get millions from all the interviews he'd be getting. They use the same door opening sound effect 3 times in a row, by the way. Just thought I'd point that out. So they pull him into the office to explain to Ezra that he won the presidential vote. He won by majority, somehow. Now that he's a representative of his school, he now has the power to make decisions on pep rallies, I think that's it. So for the up-and-coming pep rally, his input, and you're gonna love this, is to throw food at the audience to hype them up for the game. Why are they enjoying this? Why are they still cheering? I don't want to smell like ham. Hot chick Justine invites Ham Hands to a party. And I'm just gonna play some of this dialogue here.
This party.
It is so unbearably stale.
Oh, you hungry?
Like, these guys are friends.
Sure.
These are friends. And they talk like this, like they just met at a bar. There is no chemistry between any of these people. And then they just abandon the dude that is their friend. Let me mention that again. The next day at practice, what is his name? I don't know. Friend number 2 talks about how he might be into Shelby. No, you can't have a thing for Shelby. I have a thing for Shelby, even though I have a thing for hot chick Justine. You can't have a thing for Shelby. How dare you? Have some ham. How dare you? Ezra just throws ham. And you know what Ezra does? I'm sorry. He makes up an excuse. The coach shuts him down, as he should. You know what Ezra does? Thanks a lot, friend. I'm the victim. That's what Ezra does. So, I don't know if this is a weekday or if this is like the weekend, but his grandma takes him to a homeless food kitchen to train his power. The guy, the chef that's at this place, explains that if he doesn't use his power on the 59th day of having it, he loses it forever. Why is it 59? Don't ask. Don't ask. Don't do it. I don't know. They said 59 food groups, so I guess that's the magical number. But Ezra is psyched.
Really?
Despite his power giving him nothing but good things, I think what this was supposed to be was like a with great power comes great responsibility thing, but it's just kind of wasted on Ezra. It's just, he doesn't care. It doesn't matter. So anyways, the talent show happens, and Ezra's thing is, you guessed it, food. But at the end, he messes up for some reason. It was going fine, and then it messes up because I think he's under pressure, so he freaks out. And so he gets he gets the love interest wet, and he gets the other girl soaked as well. And after getting multiple women wet, he decides that he just wants to become a normal boy. Does normal boy things on the 59th day. Look at normal boy brushing his teeth, smelling his hands. So he gets to the lunchroom and everybody likes him, but Shelby's mad that he got her wet, and so he goes and sits alone. Miraculously, Ezra and Shelby make up. And you know how they do it? Garrett chooses the perfect time to unite them over their hatred for Garrett, him. And he walks up and calls her a pants wetter. She wets her pants. So Ezra, despite all the things he did to get back at him, the only possible way to fully get back at Garrett is violence. Violence is the answer, kids. Here is the point in which they're like, oh crap, Ezra's gonna lose his powers. How are we gonna make him use his powers, right? So he finds Garrett on the ground with a apparent life-threatening head injury. Since he's such a good person and has been a good person the entire movie, he makes Garrett a little ice pack out of frozen veggies. Wow, what a nice guy that guy is, Ezra. So the fight resolves. Everyone is happy somehow after being covered in food. All their clothes are ruined. There's food in everybody's hair. They have to clean up. At the cross-country meet, our boy Ezra here has 2 jugs of water and I'd assume Gatorade, but instead of fill it up with Gatorade, the cups, he makes his own sports drink. And the funny thing is, they literally show the runners just chuck the cups onto the ground. And then they kiss. Whatever, they kiss. That was cool. Wow. Ezra gets the girl that he mildly cheated on. His friends go nowhere with any relationships that they had, and everybody's happy. And that's the end of the movie. Was I underwhelmed by this movie? Not at all. I don't know what I was expecting, but it exceeded my expectations. I will be completely honest. It was so bad it was good. Would I recommend it? No.